Ukraine. Our fifth finalist tonight is.
Hello, everyone. If you could please let me know that you can hear me. Right now, we're watching the finals and who's going to be going through.
The next country going through is.
And let me check to see.
Finland. The seventh finalist.
Let me see.
No, it's not.
Cyprus. The eighth finalist is.
Okay, let's see who's left.
Croatia.
Okay. So far, everyone who I thought was going to go through has gone through. Who else do I have left? I have Luxembourg and Ireland are the other two that I thought were going to go. Okay. So my last person that I have on my list after watching the semifinals and all the performances was Luxembourg, which I was actually honestly kind of reluctant with. But I'm interested to see who else is going to go through. I thought it was either going to be Luxembourg and maybe Moldova just because like the geographic block, but I don't know. Let's see who's going to be the last one to go through.
Luxembourg.
Yeah. Okay. So it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. That's kind of wild.
Congratulations to all artists competing tonight.
Okay, so let's see who didn't go through. So Azerbaijan, Australia. Let's see who else didn't go through. Okay, we're gonna turn this off. I can't do too much of the. Okay, so we have who's going to go through. I just want to make this kind of quick, just because I'm like, I know that it's late over in Europe, so we're gonna go through each of the performances. I'm just gonna go through what I think of their performances, how I think they did, and then at the very end we can go over like what you think of the people who were chosen. For me, again, basically everyone who I thought was going to go through went through. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get started. So we're gonna go down the running order. I'll give my thoughts. If you're in here, welcome. Thank you so much for watching the stream. I hope that you enjoyed the show. Please let me know your thoughts in comments while we go through. Okay. So number one was Cyprus with Liar. I took notes on everything, and I was just like, I thought that she had a really strong beginning. I know that she's very young. I think she's 17, or she was 17. Maybe she's 18 now. I'm not sure. I said it was a very strong beginning to the show. She had very strong vocals. I wasn't wowed by the dancers. I thought that she could have had them or not. It wouldn't have made much of a difference. Um, I will say something I do want to mention overall in the show. The lighting was great, the graphics were great, and the camera work was great, which isn't something that I can necessarily say for all of the previous Eurovision, uh, like Eurovision in general. So great job this year. Sweden is definitely on top of it. Anyway, back to Cyprus. Overall, I gave it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was very good. I honestly couldn't think of anything that could be used or that could have been improved upon. I thought she did a great job. Graphics, I said, were a 10 out of 10, and so was the lighting and the camera work. So great job to Cyprus. Next, we have Serbia. I said that it was haunting. It was my first time watching it. I had watched basically every performance for semifinal one. I had already like reviewed it, even if I didn't post it. I'm really bad about posting things. But yeah, this was my first time seeing it. I said that it was kind of unfortunate that it was after number one, after Liar, because it was just like a really large step down in energy. And I kind of wish that maybe it had come later, or maybe there had been like different blocks. So it wouldn't have been such a step down in energy. But overall, I said that her singing was a 9 out of 10. The graphics were 8 out of 10, and lighting was a 7 out of 10. Solid performance still. Lithuania, Luto. This one I had reacted to, and I posted the performance. I posted that reaction. I kind of had like mixed feelings on the performance when I had originally watched it. Like the same, how do I say, the same comments that I had on it originally are the same comments that I had on it this time. I did think that it was great still. I was saying like I still wanted to harmonize because it's not as harmonic as I wished it was. I said that the lighting is doing really heavy lifting this year, but I was very surprised in a good way. It was doing great, or they were doing great, like Sylvester and all of the dancers. Next on to Ireland with Bambi Thug and Doomsday Blue. This one was very interesting because the first time that I watched it, I liked it, but I felt like you could focus more so on the singing, which did not get improved on this time. It just felt like a lot of screaming was happening. I did like the performance, though. I don't want to seem as if I don't like it. What was I going to say? There was a part in the original performance, the dance portion. I actually really liked that. And I was like, dang it, like she got rid of it. Like that was the part of the original performance that I actually really enjoyed. But then for this performance, she didn't have it. But that's okay. It's fine. I mentioned the outfit change into the outfit, like the kind of like skimpy-ish outfit that had the trans flag. Overall, like I had the comments going. I was watching it on YouTube, and it seems like it's a very polarizing performance. I enjoyed it. I think it was a step up from the original performance, or like the original that she did on like the TV show or whatever. I thought it was a step up. I thought it leaned more into the camp. I still don't really feel like I got much singing, but that is what it is. But yeah, definitely leaned into the concept. And yeah, cool performance. Anyway, continuing on to Ukraine. This was my first time listening to it, but I feel like it's like come up on TikTok. So I feel like I've seen it before, but I haven't really seen it. I thought that was a good song. The performance was really cool. The graphics, the lighting, I said we're doing like really heavy lifting, but it was good. It was very organized, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. I said that the singing was a 10 out of 10. The graphics were a 10 out of 10. The lighting was a 10 out of 10. Great job to Ukraine. Okay, moving on to Poland. This one I reacted to, and I think I posted the reaction. I hate that I'm like, I think I reacted to this, or I know I reacted to it, but I don't know if I posted the reaction. But what had I said? I said that when she was doing her verses, she was staying in her lower register, and I don't think she was as strong in her lower register. I think it was better than the previous performance that I had seen, but honestly, it's not that hard to be better than the previous performance that I'd seen. But it wasn't mind blowing. I thought that the graphics were cool, especially the horse. Um, and then I said that her, like, not necessarily like the very end, but her high note, kind of like the climax of the song, she didn't do a belt this time, or I can't even remember what she did in her original performance, but instead of doing a belt, she just kind of did like resonance in her head. Like, she kind of stuck to a safer, like a kind of like a safer way of performing. So I was just like, eh. I said the singing was a 6 out of 10. The concept was a 6 out of 10. I don't understand why it won over Witcher, which was one of her, I guess, like opponents for the competition for Poland, even though the Polish fans that enjoyed Witcher were so annoying in my comments, but whatever. Next, on to Croatia and Rimtin Tuggy Okay. This one, actually, I have reacted to this one twice, and I don't think I posted the reaction for either one of them. I think I originally reacted to it before they even had the competition, like just when they were releasing a bunch of the like contestants. So still solid. I really enjoyed the fact that the crowd was involved, and that actually made the performance even better in my personal opinion. Singing, I gave the singing a 9 out of 10. I gave the concept overall a 10 out of 10, even though I didn't necessarily understand the point of like the dancers, like who was it? The woman who was like originally like washing clothes and everything like that. I was like, okay, sure, okay. But overall, good performance. I really enjoyed it. Next, on to Iceland, and like Scared of Heights. This is one that it was like my first time watching. It was like one of like the two or whatever. It gave me like 70s Diana Ross type vibes. I thought that this would be a really good song for like a festival. And then I said that, or earlier on in the song, I was like, I wish that she had dancers. And then the dancers came later, but then the dancers were only doing like a 2-step. And I was like, no, you guys need to be running around the stage, like getting the crowd hype. I thought it was kind of like a waste. Overall, I said like the crowd wasn't hype enough for me. Like they could have definitely been more involved, but it's okay. I said that the singing was a 10 out of 10, and I said the concept was an 8 out of 10. The overall, I really like that. That's a song I would want to hear at a festival, honestly. Next, on to Slovenia and Veronica. Literally, I have no notes. I just said chills. Oh my God. like that's kind of what I was thinking at the very end when she was kind of doing like her siren sounds. I don't know what you would call that. Singing 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Concept, I thought that was a little weird, like the people crawling on stage and like the nude outfits and stuff like that, whatever. A little weird, but good, 9 out of 10. Overall, great job. I kind of knew she was gonna continue on. Yeah. Anyway, next, on to Finland and Windows 95 Man and No Rules. My first comment is like, is he naked? And then like I was looking at later and I was like, oh no, he just has on a thong, whatever. Really fun song. I think I did a reaction to this before. I think I reacted to the video and not a live performance, but I had seen a live performance of the song prior to this. But yeah, still good overall. I did think that the singer kind of like copped out, because in the original it was like a really sharp belt, and then instead of a belt, he went falsetto here. I guess just kind of being like worried in case anything goes wrong. But I guess that's like my personal opinion, whatever. I gave the singing a 8 out of 10 just because I was like, you could have did more, you could have gone harder, but I understand wanting to be safe. Concept 10 out of 10. It was fun. It's weird. Whatever. And then on to Moldova in the middle. I was a bit confused because I think the original, like the original competition that I had seen, she had people around her, and I did a reaction to it. I posted the reaction, and I was just kind of like, these people are useless. Like they're not actually doing anything. Like the people in the back, like they're mouthing, they're not actually singing. They don't actually know how to play the violin. Like I don't understand, like they're kind of useless. And then I don't know if she saw that. I doubt it because that had like 100 views. But she ended up, there alone. That was cool. And graphics, I thought the graphics were so beautiful. 10 out of 10 graphics were great. Her singing was great. I really enjoyed her singing. I liked In the Middle here more than I liked it the first time that I saw it, once she got rid of the people in the background that were useless. But okay, now moving on to Azerbaijan. I hope I'm saying that right. Oh my God. It was my first time seeing Azerbaijan. I think that was the last. I saw all of the rest of them. Cool graphics. I did want to say that the singing was kind of inconclusive for me because I'm just not familiar with that. Like in the US, if I hear something like that, I would call it yodeling, but I do not think that the correct terminology is yodeling. I'm just not cultured enough to know what that technique is called. So I leave that part out. I can't really judge the singing or anything like that because I'm unfamiliar with that type of technique. But I thought that anyway, going back to singing inconclusive, graphics, great. I gave that a 9 out of 10. The lighting, I feel like I didn't really pay attention to the lighting, so lighting's whatever. Moving on to Australia and Electric Fields, like with One Blood. I really enjoyed the performance. Again, I was watching on YouTube and I had the comments up, and I feel like I was like the only one enjoying it because everyone else was like either one insulting them and like being racist, or like two were just like talking about like other performances. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Again, kind of similar to Iceland. Great festival song. Singing, I gave an 8 out of 10. Concept, I gave a 7 out of 10. And then moving on to Portugal. It was my first time. I really, really liked it. I thought that it was really cool. I do need to look up the lyrics for it, to be honest, to I guess like fully be able to understand the performance. I thought her singing was great. I thought the concept was really cool. Overall, good performance. Lastly, we have Luxembourg with Fighter. This one I'm kind of conflicted on. Again, okay, so I did watch that one. I did react to it, and I think I did post. I think I did actually post the reaction to it. I can check later, but I'm pretty sure I did. But some of the comments I had on the original performance was just kind of talking about like how she was in one place because it seemed as if she wasn't like her condition wasn't good, in that like her like body conditioning, like being able to sing while, sorry, I have the windows open because it's hot. So sorry if you can hear cars or whatever. Anyway, going back to the original performance, when I was thinking, she was just staying in one place because she did not have the conditioning to be able to move around and to do the dances and to be as active as everyone else. And it really showed through. And that continued on to here. I think that she was a lot more stable. Like she was very focused on her singing, but again, it was the same thing of her being in like the same fucking spot and she didn't move. And I was just like, oh my God. It's crazy that like you could probably count on two hands how many steps she took in the entire performance. Was her singing good? Yes. Were the dancers really active and great? Yes. Were the graphics great? Yes. Was the lighting great? Yes. Did she move? No. And I think that's kind of ridiculous. For me personally, and I know that this also happened with what's her name, with like Natalia Barbu. Like I know she didn't move much as well, but it just seemed so obvious with Fighter, and I was just very confused. I was like, you had like 3, 4, 5 months, you couldn't like do conditioning to move more. I don't know. Anyway, I thought that her, again, singing great, dancers great, lighting great, graphics. I don't really remember the graphics, but I'm sure the graphics were good. Overall, great job. I just wish you would move more. Anyway, let's move on to kind of like some of the extras. The opening show, I don't know who these people are besides Chanel, because Chanel's 2022 was like the first year I watched Eurovision. So I don't know the previous people, but Fuego, which I think I remember there was some kind of drama, like people thought that she should have won, whatever. And then I think the other song's called Popular, like I Will Be Popular. I thought that, and Slow Mo, I thought that was a great performance for Chanel specifically. I have like, wow, that was great. That was a great dance break. Great job. Then going on to some of the other ones that were the automatic bids in, with Dizzy, I was like, LOL locker concept. I like the song, I like the singing. The locker room concept is funny to me. Overall, great job. Then on to Germany, Always on the Run. I was a bit confused because I remember the video that I watched. He was performing with a band, but maybe the band was just there for the performance or like the competition. Solid singing. I said that the song is really good for radio, but I don't know how good it would do in Eurovision, like in the competition overall. I said that the pyrotechnics were doing really heavy lifting to get the crowd kind of involved. Overall, singing 10 out of 10. The concept was a 7 out of 10. Not wowing, but I think it was like a very, very, very solid performance. Anyway, okay, going on. Let's talk about Johnny Logan. So Johnny Logan previously won Eurovision twice in the 90s, I think. Or yeah, at least one I think was 1997, and then I think the other one was 1992. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. And he sang Euphoria, which I think Euphoria won in 2019. Questionable. I'm iffy. Sorry. I thought that his performance was okay. He did crack on the last high note, but I give him grace because he's probably like 70, like 60, 70, 80, somewhere in there. So please. Anyway, great job. Who I thought should move on. My original notes were Lithuania, Ireland, Ukraine, Croatia, Cyprus, Slovenia, Finland, Portugal, Luxembourg, and then who else did I put? I put Moldova, but Moldova I was kind of questionable about. It was between Moldova and Serbia. And then the real result was basically everyone that I mentioned, except instead of Moldova, it was Serbia. So Serbia, Portugal, Slovenia, Ukraine, Lithuania, Finland, Cyprus, Croatia, and Luxembourg. Those were the people who will be performing in the grand final on Friday. I don't see anything wrong with the list, to be honest. Again, it was basically who I had assumed was going to go through to begin with, just based on this semifinal. But overall, I don't have any problems with it, but that's just me. But yeah, I think I'm going to end it here. I do know that it's late in Europe, so I don't want this to be too long. It's just kind of like a roundup of the semifinal one and like the performances and what I thought overall. But yes, if you are the replay crew, thank you so much for sticking around or coming around at the end. And for the people watching it live, thank you so much for watching it live with me. And we're going to end here. I will be back later this week with the same roundup from a semi-final 2, and then the same thing will happen this Saturday for the grand final. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna end here. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Okay, I'll see you later this week. Okay, so bye everyone. Have a good day or have a good night.